Hello, and welcome to today's episode of 219 GreenConnect, where we explore topics about the environment and green living in Northwest Indiana. For past show archives, news, and upcoming events, you can check out our website at 219greenconnect.com or connect with us on Facebook or Twitter. We're also now on Pinterest as well. Listeners to our live show today can call in at 805-243-1323 to post questions or to join us on the call. I'm Kathy Sipple. I'm your host, and with me today I have Janelle Highland. She is the co-founder of, the Northwest Indiana Natural Family Living Expo, and also the founder of Facebook group Organic Food Buying of Northwest Indiana. And she does many, many other things. She's the mother of 4. She's gone back to school. She's got a husband and all kinds of other interests. So welcome, Janelle. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about what got you to start this very successful group on Facebook.
Well, I just started with seeds because it's so much cheaper if you just buy in bulk for organic heirloom seeds. So that's just what we started out, just with a few friends. But I knew that we didn't have an actual co-op that offered pretty much anything organic that we wanted. So I just posted it, on Facebook and asked if anybody would be interested in, food, local food, or different organic items that maybe we don't have as much locally, or some people, on a budget can't afford. And in a co-op, it makes it a little bit more affordable. So we just started growing, and it's been since February that I started the group, and it's
just this
quite
year.
Large.
Okay,
yeah.
Wow, I didn't even realize it was only this year. Yeah, it's grown very, very big in a short time. And I was one of the beneficiaries that got to enjoy those heirloom seeds, and I did very much appreciate how easy it was to get a relatively small amount of each from you. That was a really great service that you provided. So how many seeds did you end up getting, and how many people participated?
Oh, how many seeds? We probably got over 200,000 seeds.
Wow.
If you actually count individual seeds,
Wow, unbelievable.
But I think we had about 23 people. Just that was our first order, like 23 people.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, at that point in time, it was Seed Savers who we ordered from, which we still do order from, but they didn't offer me wholesale pricing because we were just doing it in bulk and just as a group of people. And so I actually had to sit and sort every little packet myself, divide it into like quarter teaspoons or an eighth of a teaspoon with my little measurements and weights.
I can only imagine. Yes. What a labor of love. But
it was very, very tedious, but I was able to get, a huge stockpile of seeds for a very, very decent amount of money. And that's what I wanted ultimately. And of course now they're offering me wholesale pricing, so we can just do packets, which is much easier than I could just hand you a packet and we're good.
Right, sure. Well, that's great. I mean, it is. It's something that I've done on my own before, and certainly did cost quite a bit more to, pay for the shipping and, to get perhaps bigger packages than I really wanted or needed. But that was great. So 200,000 seeds.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure if you went through and counted that, Cilantro has, 5,000 seeds per package.
Wow.
And they all add up, and they're so tiny.
So for those who may not know, I mean, what is the importance of getting heirloom seeds versus just something that you'd get, at a dollar store or at a hardware store?
Well, the biggest thing is that it's not maybe not genetically modified. I mean, I know that Seed Savers for sure is not genetically modified, but at the dollar store, at the hardware store, I mean, sure, you can go buy a Burpees Organic, but it's Burpees. It's a company that is not organic on a regular basis. I know they've branched off, but it's still that big company. Seed Savers is a non-for-profit. They have a farm in Iowa. You can actually go there. They have a whole section of seeds that they just continuously grow just to keep being able to, save the seeds and be able to sell them to us. So they have a real great foundation that they do. They donate to community gardens, which anyone that's in Northwest Indiana that would like a donation of seeds could probably contact me, and I can send you the information to put in there for a donation, and they will gladly give donations, they've told me.
Okay, that's great.
But the seeds that you can get from the store, you don't know what chemicals have been put on them. You don't know if they are a frankenfruit, and you don't want that. You want organic and fresh. Frankenfruit, yeah, that's what they are,
Okay, I like that. I don't think I've heard of that one before. But
they combine them and change them and alter them, and that's not, the way God made them.
Right. And a lot of times they have chemicals embedded in the seed itself that make it resistant to pests or what have you, but it's not something.
Yeah, Roundup definitely bad.
Yeah, that is a little creepy to my way of thinking. So I definitely appreciate the heirloom, and you get some very interesting things as well that you just don't see on shelves. I think I got, what was it called, some sort of purple tomato. I'm still waiting for that one too.
A Cherokee purple.
Cherokee purple. Okay.
Yeah.
And
I'm not a wealth of knowledge with tomatoes. I just know they taste really good.
Well, they definitely do.
Learning.
They don't taste like those tomatoes that come off of a truck and are shipped 1,000 miles before they get to you and that ripen on the truck. I mean, obviously they're your own. They're vine ripened, so whatever kind of seed you use, they're probably going to taste better. But when you've got those heirloom, they taste like something that you remember from, a long time ago being a kid, and they're just very, very exciting and a lot of fun. So how is your own garden? Tell us what the results were from all these seeds in your own household.
It's going very well. In the beginning, I was a little too ambitious, and I started a little bit too soon and killed most of my cabbages just because I didn't have enough lighting. I didn't set it up good enough in the house, which through the winter that's going to be my project, is getting better lighting. Mm-hmm. But I killed most of my cabbages, but I have 37 tomato plants.
Wow.
And they're doing amazing. The 9 of them were actually just gifts from my garden from using worm compost or what have you. Mm-hmm. They just came back. They just came. And they're actually some of my biggest ones because they sprouted up whenever they felt they needed to when it was nice in March, and they didn't get harmed by the cold weather. And I have probably every day I can go out there and pick a little, I have a little glass dish that I keep in my fridge, and I just every day I go out there and it seems to fill up that little glass dish. I mean, if you were to go to the grocery store and buy those little cherries, it's like $4 for a container of cherries, and I've been getting, almost a whole container every day or every other day, and they taste 100 times better. And I put nothing on them except for worm castings and water.
You just mentioned 2 of my favorite things, worms and worm castings. All right, we could probably have a whole separate show about that. But I had similar experience with my own worm compost on my community garden plot this year. I had all kinds of volunteer seeds coming up, so it's not exactly the most organized-looking garden. I had it all neatly in the square foot arrangement, but then I had things popping up out of the compost wherever they popped up, and yeah, you're right. Those do tend to be some of the more, sturdy plants because they do come in their own time.
Whenever they need to.
Yeah, good point. And then, so you're getting these tomatoes, you're getting all this great organic, harvest from your garden, and you've actually taken that one step further and you've offered a few canning classes. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So you're showing people how they can preserve.
I started last year really crazy doing everything. I mean, I think I came home from Michigan with over 400 pounds of produce one day, and it was, for my mom and I to prepare and can in a period of just like 3 days because you can't just let it sit. You have to get it fresh. And so this year I'm going a little slower. I cannot make myself crazy. And I'm doing it here and there. So I did some jelly classes already, and I'll do them again, but everybody's asking for salsa, and I've sold the salsa some of my salsa from last year, and now I have none left. So that's the first thing I want to do with salsa is I really miss my fresh salsa.
Mm-hmm.
But you can come. I'm hoping to be able to set it up to where we can actually be outside if it's not too hot, and have the propane tank set up and just show you the steps, what ingredients you need, and how you're to go about making the salsa and then canning it properly in the pressure canner, because tomatoes have to be pressure canned. I know there's some controversy about if you add enough lemon juice, it'll make it okay for water bath, but it is still said not to be safe enough. You still should pressure can it because of the acidity.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk about all those different things and maybe different pressure canners. Currently, I have a pressure canner that's almost 50 years old.
Wow.
And it's the best. It works great.
And where did you get that? Is that something you can just get at a regular store?
I posted on my Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
No, not a 50-year-old one. No, I posted
I didn't
on
think
my
so.
Facebook. No.
Mm-hmm.
I posted and asked if anybody had one I could borrow last year.
Mm-hmm.
And my cousin actually had one that she got from, her mother-in-law. And it had been in their family, and it's been sitting in the garage doing nothing. And, of course, it has a little bit of rust on it, and it's old aluminum, but your food's not touching it, so it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, through the summer, I actually found another one at a garage sale. I was, looking at the garage sales on Craigslist. And she's a pressure canner, and she didn't really know what she had, and I looked at it, and $10 for this pressure canner. It was missing the regulator, which I just purchased. It was $20 for the regulator. And but if you look for a pressure canner, even that pressure canner that I have is like $80 still, and it's 50 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So they can be pretty pricey if you just look around, Craigslist, and keep your eye open. I'm sure you can find a good one.
Well, good information. I admire your chutzpah that you're always out there looking for, a way to do organic as affordably as possible. And I think that, that's commendable. A lot of people hear organic and just say, oh, it's too much trouble or it's too much money or whatever. And you're really not letting that stop you. You're starting it from seed and taking it all the way through to the preservation stage so your family can enjoy that, well into the winter.
Yes.
That's very cool. And so you are the mother of 4. You're probably making some fairly decent-sized meals, I would think, for your tribe.
Yeah. Well, they're pretty picky still. I mean,
mm-hmm.
they're 11 and under, but I still do, and it's really been nice since I've had stuff coming from the garden already to be able to know that I don't really have to run to the store because we've been buying bulk meat or, I've been growing my vegetables. It's really been nice not to have to run to the grocery store. I really try not to feed my kids. And they eat mostly anything I make them. They maybe don't like it. They'd rather have junk food, but they'll get over it.
So is it a family affair out in the garden? Do they help you with the gardening and the collection?
Well, some of them, yes. My youngest, Julianne always comes in there with me because I can shut the gate, and then she's stuck in there with me, and she tries to pick my green tomatoes, and I'm, begging her not to. But my 6-year-old grew his own green beans.
Wow.
And he's very, very proud of them. So he helps me, but my 11-year-old's usually off playing, or he plays with the baby while I get my stuff done, too.
So it is a family affair. It's just not everybody doing the same thing at once.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, and he, my oldest will help water, and, so it is. They all do help at some point in time.
So let's give a shout-out for people who are interested by this conversation and would like to start, buying organically and doing it more affordably. You said you have a new website, right? And that's, can I go ahead and say that? It's
sure.
www.OGNWI.com. So that stands for Organic Gardens Northwest Indiana.com, OGNWI.com. And if you go to the forum area, is that correct? You'll see where all of the orders are and what you're doing. So you will need to register, and there is a Facebook
as a member.
group. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a Facebook group as well, so you can get information there. If you look on Facebook and just search Organic Garden and Food Buying Group of NWI, it is a closed group, but you can ask to join, and Janelle will check you out and, add you to the group. So what other kinds of things are you buying besides seeds? I know I see very frequent updates on here.
We did a massive order of canning lids, reusable canning lids, not the typical ball or cur that you could get, from any store around here. They are a rubber ring and plastic lid like you used to have, olden days. I know it's plastic, but the temperature at which it would break down, your pressure canner does not go that high. So they say, it's BPA-free, it is safe to use, and your food typically is not touching it. So we did the canning order with 7,000 pieces. It was a lot of work. We have other, like vanilla beans, and I finally found a source for avocados and citrus from California, and they were the best avocados I've had personally. I know when you go to the grocery store, most of them are from Mexico, and they go brown really easy, and it's because they radiate their food. They put radiation on any food that comes into the USA, and that, I guess, causes it to spoil. Maybe it kills the enzymes quicker. I don't know, but I was pleased to find a source in California, and he can ship them to me, picked fresh from the tree the day he ships them, and it's just the quality is amazing. And we have, a variety of other things. Pretty much anybody can make a suggestion, and, if there's interest, we'll consider it and see if they'll, offer it. Obviously, since it's not a business, I'm not marking up the prices. They don't always offer wholesale pricing for a group, but typically most companies will have a group price if they don't offer wholesale.
So what does that look like, an order of organic avocados from California? I mean, how many are you talking about, and how do you logistically get them out to your members?
Well, he does the flat rate boxes priority mail because they are guaranteed to be here in 2 to 3 days. And it's roughly about 15 pounds, obviously, from the day he picks them to the time I get them. The content of their weight might change a little bit, which it did. And so we just did it per pound because that's what he charged me per pound, and it was just what he charged me plus the shipping factored in. So I think it was like $3 a pound. I have had since to adjust the prices since there was that loss in weight, but I just tell them if it's something that's going to be perishable, they have to figure out, a way to come to me. We do have a couple members that have been willing to pick up and drive and drop off, which has been a great help because, that's what a co-op is. You're supposed to work together and help each other. So it's been really wonderful, the few members that have picked up and dropped off, so people can get their items quickly. Other items that aren't perishable, I still have stuff sitting here, and that's okay. Eventually they'll get them when they can, but I don't make a point to go and say specifically, okay, this day I'm going to make a drop in Valpo, because then if that was the case, I would need to charge a gas charge, and I don't do that. So if I'm coming out that way, like for a meeting or something, I'll bring them out there. Robin at Mothering by Nature has been wonderful letting me drop things there and have that be a pickup point. So,
and let's talk a little bit about your involvement there. I know you're in another group. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Is it called ICANN?
It is ICANN. It is a birth support group for women that have had cesarean sections or mainly looking into having a VBAC, which is a vaginal birth after cesarean. Many come to us even just wanting to prevent a C-section. And I started with ICANN. I started going there when I was actually pregnant with my 1-year-old because I've had 3 previous C-sections. And I was told that I could have a VBAC, and I thought that was completely crazy. I really had no idea. So I started going to ICANN, and it was only like 2 months in, and at that point in time, the lady that was running ICANN just couldn't do it. And she said, I'm stepping down. It's going to close, or somebody needs to stand up. And thankfully, one of the other members said, if somebody will help me, we can do it together. And Megan and I took on ICANN now it probably is 2 years ago now that we've been doing it, and we have monthly meetings, and the topics vary. Obviously, there's always open forum, and we do watch videos. You can bring your children, and it is at Mothering by Nature in the conference room downstairs outside of our building, and we have an upcoming meeting on the 31st. It's always going to be the last Tuesday of the month as well.
Okay.
From 6 to 8 p.m.
Mothering by Nature, I'll just give out that information. They're on Facebook as well under Mothering by Nature Center, and they're in Valparaiso. They're at 255 West Indiana Avenue in Valparaiso, and their number, if you need it, is 219-299-2039 if you want to find out more information about ICANN or other things they do, because they offer earth-friendly natural products, cloth diapers, and everything related to raising a child in a natural way. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say. They also have Dr. Trish goes and has her chiropractor appointments there, and I think they have different things on a regular basis, so they always have a calendar.
Okay.
You can check on their website too.
Good. And so is that, being a parent, is that the main thing that got you into this concern for eating organically, or what really brought you into your interest for the co-op and eating organically?
Yeah, I had no idea that going to the store and buying a hamburger helper and making it for your children was not good. I knew it wasn't great, but I was a young mom, and that's what I grew up on myself. So in searching to eat healthier and live healthier and losing weight, you just stumble across all these different things, and I knew that what started me in it was using cloth diapers a long time ago. And so you expand and you research and you just keep finding more things. So I went straight to, cooking all my meals, but it wasn't organic. So then you look into, well, why isn't it organic? Why shouldn't it be, or why couldn't it be? So then, that's where you just start, finding what resources you do have locally. And I've always been a part of co-ops, doing them with other people that I know, but it's either been in Illinois or in Michigan. It's never here in Northwest Indiana. I know there are a couple other ones. I don't think that they are as specific as what, we're doing, and they do different things. So that's.
Yeah. And, I would like to give a shout-out, too, for a blog post that I found while you and I were preparing for this, and it's a local food blogger. Her name is Tony, short for Antonia Sneerly, and she has a great blog that's kind of dedicated to food and eating organically, sustainably, locally, and that is www.foodjustsayin, without the G, so foodjustsayin, SAYIN.com, and she had a really good post on there about how to start a co-op and some good tips for pulling that off, and just how to afford eating organically. I think that's something a lot of people would like to do, but if you're thinking you need to go to a Whole Foods or to the organic section of a grocery store, that can be a little daunting for most of us that are just on regular kinds of salaries and regular life challenges to afford that. So really thank people like Janelle and Tony who are putting out good information to to help people cooperate and form these alliances. So what else? What's next for you, Janelle? What do you think is coming your way?
Well, right now I'm just trying to get everything more organized with the group, because we have been on a roll. It's been one thing after another. So as far as the group goes, hopefully here at the end of August we'll actually start having whole heads of cow beef, to where you can purchase a half, quarter. It goes straight from the farm, straight from the farmer, and gets butchered however you'd like it, and you just pay, what they charge and what the farmer wants. So we're going to do beef and coconut oil. I'm just hoping that we can get the co-op more organized. I have had a few people step up and help, which has been wonderful. But it is a lot to do. So currently right now I'm just trying to, I guess, reorganize and make it a little easier on a regular basis for me to get everything going. And then maybe there's, more things to come. But right now with 4 children, a group, a co-op, school, a husband who's also working in school, I am quite busy.
It sounds like you would be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, how do you decide what the vendor will be, for something like beef or coconut oil? I mean, do you have sources, or do you just start to do research online and see where that takes you?
Well, actually, for the coconut oil, I have, like I said, I was part of my friend's co-op, and she's actually in Michigan now, but she lived in Portage for a long time, and she does a huge essential oils and salt and coconut oil order from a company that she has researched and found that this is the best resource for her. So I just extended that to my group. It was, we call it a piggyback. And that's an every 3 months order. So we will be opening coconut oil in about a week, which will also include, Himalayan pink sea salt and various other items that I will, share with the group. But in order to get the best prices, it is every 3 months. It's a very large order. So but otherwise, if it's something that I haven't personally used or, one of somebody that hasn't suggested it to me, or they just say, hey, what about this? Then we just start researching. Mm-hmm. Or I already have resources, in particular in Northwest Indiana. If I know somebody in the area, I'll send them a message and say, what can you do for us? Mm-hmm. Do you offer any pricing for our group? And we're still working on honey. That's a big one everybody seems interested in, but we haven't yet been able to find a source for honey that is able to discount because of how much work goes into, getting a good honey and not feeding them the high fructose corn syrup that, can harm the bees.
Right.
So it's been a process for the honey. I know everybody would like to have honey, but we want to make sure it's a good honey and it's a decent price where the farm still gets money and
right.
They're okay with what they're offering us. So
yeah, well, I'm not sure.
Sometimes it takes time. It's a co-op.
I'm not sure if I should give a shout out to my local honey source or not. I'm not sure exactly how they do everything that they do, but I have come to know this gentleman and really enjoy working with him. He's Ken. Oh boy, how do you say his last name? It's Theis in Couts. And his honey is also for sale at County Line Orchards and some of the other places around town. If you call Ken or email him, you can get his information off of IndianaBeekeeper.com. He is on their founding membership list. And there are a list of beekeepers all from around the area, obviously. So you can call them directly if you are interested in local honey and ask them the question that Janelle has brought up. Do you feed your bees high fructose corn syrup? We really, really enjoy getting to know the farmers that we buy from. I know we're almost out of time, but I want to thank Janelle Highland, our guest today, from the Organic Food Buying Club of Northwest Indiana. I'll give another mention to her website. It is www.ognwi.com. And if you register as a member, you can check out all the great group buys that she's got going on for everything from seeds to canning supplies to organic meats and vegetables. So thank you so much again, Janelle, for joining us. This has been another episode of 219 GreenConnect. I'm Kathy Sipple, and I hope you'll join us back next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.